Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Nexa.
All right, halftime at the Eden Gardens, and 179 is where KKR finished after winning the toss and choosing to bat, remember, in what is a must-win game for the defending champions. Pathirana finishes that all right in the last over, but they got off to a real flyer. So what kind of score is 179? We find out on Nexa Presents. ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Collective wisdom. Tom Moody, Abhinav Mukund, Matt Roller should have gone with the collective wisdom of AI and the forecaster which said 180. All of you boys went high. But looking at that surface, 20 overs, Abhi, how is that score? 179. Who's in front?
CSK. Easy answer. Yeah, because Kolkata just seemed to, like, I can't repeat this enough. Kolkata just seemed to think the more number of batters we have, the more number of runs we get. It's the lesser number of balls you face for more runs. You end up not using a a proper batter in Moeen Ali and not maximizing your batting to your full depth. I think they're under par.
Okay, same story for the Knight Riders, Tom?
Yeah, I think they're under par. Yeah, I forecast over 200, but may have been a little bit generous, but I was a little bit surprised with just the deployment of their batters coming in. Manish Pandey coming in when he came in. He's come into the team, but in the situation that he came in, I would have thought was the perfect time for Rinku Singh to come in. And you've mentioned Moeen Ali, another one. More dynamic players. Manish Pandey ended up batting throughout the innings. Yes, he scored some runs, but a strike rate of just high 120s, and that's not enough on a surface like that at the back end of the innings.
67 for 1 in the power play.
Yeah, and then 42 for 3 off the next 8, which I think tells the story of KKR's season, really, because their middle overs batting has been the worst in the league, both in terms of batting average and scoring rate. And I think today, again, obviously those 2 quick wickets seemed to change their approach, where it felt like a real old-school consolidatory partnership between Rahane, who was, again, 100 strike rate through the middle overs, as he has been a lot this season, and Manish, who was 20 off 20 before he accelerated at the end. So it felt like a real grind through that phase.
Okay, I'm putting this aside, and I'm reminding all of you that this is live show, not any one of the previous KKR shows. Someone please explain to me why they keep doing this. Why? There's collective wisdom of Dwayne Bravo, Chandu Pandit, Abhishek Nair has joined there, the magic man. Why do they keep doing this? Why don't they maximize their power hitters for the only team I can think of in the league that has a batter of the pedigree of Ramandeep and Moeen Ali batting at 9? Why?
Good question. Well, they did it last year to a certain extent. And they're sticking to a formula that, won them a trophy. But, they don't have the same dynamic opening partnership as they had last year. Salt was incredibly successful with Narayan at the top, which allowed breathing space for that middle order to settle. And I think at the moment, the middle order are coming in under pressure, run rate pressure, and also wickets, pressure.
I'm going to really ask this question again with greater emphasis and expect all of you to come up with something new that you haven't said before if KKR go down in this game. Because this is effectively knockout blow if they lose today. Babi says CSK are in front. Let's talk about CSK's bowling and the use of the various spinners by MS Dhoni. 4 wickets for Noor, 3 tidy overs from R. Ashwin. Abhi.
Look, I want to talk about Ashwin a little bit. Okay. I was having a quick chat with Matt over dinner about Ashwin's numbers. Hear me out, because Ashwin's had a few games where he's had a poor season by everyone's standards, right? But if you actually take a closer look at the numbers that he's given a lot of runs, let's take CSK Punjab. And the wisdom is that left-hander off-spinner is the matchup. 10 ball, 28 runs, Priyansh Arya. CSK RR, 4 overs, 1 for 46. Nitish Rana, one of his worst matchups in the IPL. Yeah. He's number 2, the worst matchups by number of runs scored by strike rate. Who's number 1? Sunil Narine. And again, he plays today 14 runs. Ashwin's under pressure. And then he comes back and he gets a chance to bowl to Rahane and Manish Pandey. It wasn't clever cricket from both sides, but this is what I'm trying to say, where Ashwin's really good when you're using him as a control bowler. not necessarily against left-handers. You don't need to do that. That's Test cricket, where he's really good against left-handers. But in T20 cricket, he's able to control against the right-handers. That's why he still has a place. But KKR have lost a massive opportunity there by not sending an enforcer against R. Ashwin. 1 over for 14, 3 overs for 19. And that's where I think it was a big mistake. He bowled the 7th over, which is technically easier. Rahane and Pandey were playing till the 12th, I think, 12th or 13th over.
Yeah.
And that went for 3 runs. So I just don't understand that. But that's my piece on Ashwin and why he warrants a place in a T20 setup.
Very good. Anything to add, or shall I go to? It's a very good piece, I must say. Yeah.
He's thrown a heavy punch.
All I would say is that I think if there's something that KKR want to cling to with their position in this game, there was one ball that Ashwin bowled to Narayan right at the end of the first over, which spun so sharply that if it sort of hinted that there might be a little bit in the pitch for the spinners to me, and given the quality of the KKR spin attack, there might be something for them to exploit there.
I wonder also if they just suddenly thought before sending Russell in early like they did in the last game, the 8th over happened. Noor Ahmad gets a double strike and a squeeze is subsequently applied after that ball that turned.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one. When you've got a situation where there's clearly a bowler that is not suited to Andre Russell, and that's generally a spinner that spins it both ways, and it's not picked. You push him back, but under most other circumstances, you want to do the opposite and get him in there around about that 10th over to give him a good piece of the pie to be able to have a real impact. My issue, and I touched on it right at the beginning, was I just felt that Rinku Singh would have been a better option to come in to accelerate the innings.
Overall assessment of the way Noor bowled in tandem with Jadeja, where few seem to get MS Dhoni jumping and hopping at age 43.
I like the use of him at the death, bowl 2 at the death, 2 for 21 in that.
He's learned
phase.
something from the Chinnaswamy game.
Yeah, and well, Abhi said as well, he thought he would be a good man to hold back for that Russell matchup at the end, and so it proved.
Spinners?
Yeah, I like the usage of them. I know MS likes using 2 spinners in tandem. He likes having... It's almost as if CSK are comfortable playing at Eden and KKR are comfortable playing at Chepauk at this point.
All right. Well, they did play a very good game at the Chepauk, didn't they?
Smash them.
Yeah. And now Chennai have come here.
Just on the spin thing, I've always been of the view that if the spinner is good enough, I don't know why the mindset is, well, they can't bowl at the back end of the innings. Yes, there's some really good examples with Noor and Russell towards the end. That's great to be able to, stifle his impact. But still, a spinner can bowl defensively and very, very effectively.
Sure.
It's not all about pace. It's about, those subtleties, whether it be length, line, angles, all those things. And spinners generally do that better than anyone.
Manish Pandey has this to say after his innings. Maybe 10 runs short is what he says from, in his opinion, KKR. He says, I could have gotten 2 or 3 big hits. Happy that Russell did his job. So did Rinku. The wicket is slow. We have top quality spinners. If they can do their job, we'll be good to go. Thought I would stay there for a while and take the team through, hoping we can bowl well and win this game. Our fast bowlers are doing a really good job. Top 2 spinners are winning us games all the way and backing our bowlers. Now, most of that is accurate. Some of it is not. We've discussed the numbers on the pre-show. But 10 runs, I think he said from my side. He could have got 10 more, so a couple of shots away. Says the wicket is slow. We expected to play. Anyone wants to read between the lines?
I didn't really think he said he could have got 10 more, but I don't really feel like he played with much intent for most of that innings until that 6.
Yeah,
he only hit 2 boundaries in 28 balls, and that was the frustration for me, was that it feels like when you've got a team with Rinku Singh, sure, he's not the best starter against spin necessarily, but I don't think you can say that Rinku wouldn't have managed to get 20 off 20 at least in his first 20 balls.
I think there's a much bigger conversation here of when Venkaiah Iyer was not playing, there was an opportunity to get the balance right. And they've decided to just do the same. But I want to put a pin in that.
And the first boundary came the 22nd ball of his 28.
Correct. I'm going to put a pin in that to see which way the result goes. Outcome oriented. That's what the coaches always say. T20 is an outcome oriented game. What? So let's see how well KKR.
Process driven.
Process driven. But outcome-oriented keeps more coaches in their jobs than the
That's
process.
the owner's mindset, is outcome.
My apologies. I tend to think more like an owner than a
Yes,
coach.
of course.
Non-player that I am. Yeah. Right. On that note, Ayush Matre has walked out and Devin Conway has now walked out. Do we expect the Eden surface to play similarly? Do we have a game on here given it is 180 the target and not 180 plus?
Yeah, it's going to be tight. KKR have a decent lineup, but if CSK don't get past this, they should. I think they should. Even with the spin threat of Narayan and Varun, I'm still thinking good, solid cricket will get them 180.
Ooh, I mean, this is also a batting lineup with players searching for form, which Matre being an exception. There's a game on here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is game on, and I think a lot lies at the lap of Conway. Because I think he is a very good player spin, and they'll need an experienced player to navigate those spin overs.
Viber first up with Moeen in the power play?
Yeah, quite possibly. I think Vaibhav obviously has that good head-to-head against left-handers generally, although it hasn't quite worked as he would have liked this year. Power play wickets have dried up a little bit for KKR, as we were saying on the pre-show. I think they're the second fewest of any team in the league other than Rajasthan for power play wickets. So yeah, potentially Vaibhav and maybe Harshit rather than Mohan to start, because I think Conway is one of these unusual left-handers who's quite good at going inside out and actually quite good at playing with the spin. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah, let's see. It's a let's see kind of game. Got to be a little more definitive at the end of it all. So let's get predictions. Forecaster, 53.46
Two?
KKR. 53.57 KKR, 46.43 CSK. Given forecasters had a good day so far, how do you see this game going? Matt?
I feel like it's going to be a similar story as the season's gone for CSK. I think they're going to fall just short, 10 runs short.
Matt. Abhi, give your brothers and sisters and friends in Chennai a little more optimism for the remainder of the evening.
Yeah, I think they're getting there. Just about, but just getting there. One drop chance, 1-6, and it's just getting
Like MS said at Chinnaswamy, I could have got a couple away, so maybe he'll get a couple away over here. Tom Moody, prediction, sir.
It's KKR's to lose.
Would you want to probe him on that a little more? Like just put him, come on, get off that.
Why is that?
Incredibly strong fence.
I just feel that there's no form in the CSK camp, and I just think the spin is going to overwhelm them in the middle phase.
The spirit of the Rajasthan Royals seems to have followed the Super Kings to Kolkata. Matt picked up something?
Well, I think he might be about to walk out right now, but our Ashwin padded up with his helmet on in the dugout. So might see him in a real pinch-hitting role if he comes in at number 3 after 2 balls.
This is, and that time has come. While we were having this chat, Ayush Matre, hero of the last game with the bat, has gone out for a duck. Oh, it's just such a cliche, but cricket's such a great leveler. Suryavanshi, 100-0, Matre, 90-0. I feel bad for the boys, but that's how you get it after the game in this game. Vaibhav has struck. Anyone changing that? Mr. Mukund, you're the only one who's likely to.
I'm the only one who's still backing CSK to get across, because just for the health of their batting lineup, they need this win.
All right, Urvil Patel, first look of him, we'll see soon.
Nice.
So let's see how this game goes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I will give my prediction that I want this game done by 11 o'clock. And on that note, we will see you for post-match analysis to see if KKR are still alive in the race to the playoffs. They are defending champions, of course. Join us then on Nexa Presents ESPN Cricket Info Timeout.
Ready for it.
Thrill for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Nexa.